Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another live stream and your daily Chelsea transfer update. Big up to everyone that's locked in already. Make sure you're smashing the like, subscribe if you're new around here. And as always, people, there is lots and lots to dive into. Chelsea's pursuit of Jhon Duran. A decision is expected very soon, according to Fabrizio Romano. Reports also suggesting that Duran is keen on the Chelsea move and is looking forward to the prospect of linking up with Nicholas Jackson. And he believes he'd be a good fit for the club. We're going to wait and see what Chelsea decide to do, whether they decide to proceed with involving players in the deal or whether they decide to proceed with a straight cash move. We've also got the latest that Chelsea have apparently scouted Khvicha, Kvaratskhelia, the Georgian winger and Napoli star, who is somewhat embroiled in some ridiculous standoff with Napoli, with both his dad and his agent saying that they want him to leave the club, but Napoli stand in their ground. It takes a brave man to challenge Aurelio De Laurentiis, but could Chelsea realistically land Kvaratskhelia? We're going to dive into that and see if that's possible or not. There is truth to reports linking the club with Serhou Guirassy and Evan Ferguson, and these two have been touted as alternatives if Chelsea cannot get a deal done for Jhon Duran or decide against signing the Colombian. So the likes of Guirassy and Evan Ferguson are on the list of alternatives for Chelsea in the striking department. Those options there as well. And there's also a possibility that David Datro Fofana could be used as part of a deal for Jhon Duran. You know, it's only a possibility. It's not definitely going to happen or anything like that. But there is a possibility that Datro Fofana could be used as part of a deal to sign Jhon Duran. We'll have to wait and see what happens on that one. Plus, according to reports in Spain, Atletico Madrid have inquired about Conor Gallagher and are waiting to find out what Chelsea's position on the midfielder is. So there is loads to dive into as always, guys. As I said, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new around here. Let's say hello to a few people in the chat and then we'll dive into it. I don't see Kvaratskhelia leaving Napoli. No, maybe not. Let's wait and see on that one. The Duran move only makes Olise a must. Yeah, I absolutely agree on this one. 100% agree. Like, if we sign Duran as the main striker, then yeah, you know, it makes getting Olise absolutely critical. Otherwise, it's a bit of an issue and it's kind of a bit of an uninspiring window. Khvicha would cost too much if we can't afford Osimhen. Do you reckon he costs more than Osimhen? I don't think he costs more than Osimhen, but it would be expensive. Xavi Simons is what we really need. The left side needs to be improved. Look, the left side does need to be improved, but again, PSG obviously want to keep hold of Xavi Simons. Leipzig, obviously, he was on loan there last season. Leipzig could look to move for another loan deal for him. Khvicha would be excellent if we could. I just doubt they could afford it unless they can do some magic with a swap deal. This is the thing, like we always talk about swap deals, and swap deals always get talked about in the media, but how often do these swap deals actually happen? Like, they literally never happen. But we can always hope that something may be different. We can always hope that something might change, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Praying for this Duran deal to fall through, too expensive for a backup striker. I hear you on that front, and I do agree that the price being reported is a lot of money. But ultimately, you know, we're just about to spend possibly £55 million on a 17-year-old. Unfortunately, potential has a price, and that's the way the market is right now. You know, I think you'd be hard pushed to get. Unless they're release clause circumstances, you'd be hard pushed to get a decent striker for less than £40 million. That's just the way the market is at the moment. I know it sounds crazy, but that's just the way the market is. And unfortunately, you know, we are going to end up either overpaying the players, which has already happened, or we are going to be in a situation where, you know, we have to go for lesser quality. I mean, people have been saying that, but he was Ukraine's best player, you know, according to all the statistics and whatnot. I mean, I know people in Ukraine in general were poor, but he was better than Sudakov. He played better than Dovbyk. He played better than what's the other geezer's name? Sygankov or something, whatever, on the right, on the opposite side. And yet he seems to be the one that comes in for the most criticism. Wasn't a perfect game, but he was far and away not Ukraine's worst player. England were poor last night. Yeah, I thought England were poor last night. I mean, a win's a win at the end of the day, but it wasn't exactly a performance that filled you with confidence or was inspiring. But hopefully, as the tournament gets on, maybe it'll get better. Yes, big up, brother. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, they really did. I wasn't expecting that at all. I mean, Romania absolutely took them to the cleaners. I mean, I really wasn't expecting that one whatsoever. No chance of Alpha getting Kvaratskhelia. He's going to go to a top club. I mean, I don't know if he's going to go anywhere, to be perfectly honest. You know, he's very difficult to get out of Napoli, and they demand big money for their best players. Napoli are notoriously difficult to negotiate with. We can do better than Fowler. Fair enough. Just watched Ukraine very poor. Garassi over Duran. Yep, I absolutely agree on that front. Absolutely agree. But whether that happens or not, we will have to wait. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, England weren't great last night. You know, they weren't great, but a win's a win, and ultimately that is the most important thing. But there were some concerns for sure, and things that need to be addressed going forwards because it was an uninspiring performance. Yeah, he was. I mean, I don't understand why whenever either Chelsea don't play well or whenever Ukraine don't play well or whatever, everyone always goes to Madrid. You know, I'll criticize where it's due, but like he was not Ukraine's worst player today by any stretch of the imagination. He actually put in a half decent performance. Yeah, the Premier League fixtures are out at 9 a.m. tomorrow. They absolutely are. Yeah, Dragusin was decent. You know, I'm really surprised that he's not played more at Spurs. You know, he's clearly a quality operator, and I'm surprised that he hasn't played more at Tottenham. Okay, yeah, no, fair enough. Can't afford a quality striker, but we'll spend close to that amount for a left winger. Never going to happen. Well, let's wait and see. Would I take Gerhi back at Chelsea? Yeah, I would do, but I don't see that happening. But let's dive into the main news then, and that is that the Jhon Duran deal. We're expecting movement on that front soon, maybe this week. Let's wait and see on that front. But Fabrizio Romano reporting Chelsea are expected to make a decision soon on Jhon Duran. The situation after talks with Aston Villa over a swap deal. On the Jhon Duran, after talks with Villa over a swap deal, Chelsea are also considering other options for the new striker. But talks also with Duran's agent have taken place. He wants the move up to the club now. So basically, according to Fabrizio, and this is the situation, guys, that Duran's up for the move. Chelsea have discussed with his agents. Matt Law reported that there's a broad agreement in place for a deal worth up to £40 million. Let's obviously there's still a few hurdles to overcome on that front. Villa have expressed interest in Conor Gallagher. Villa have also expressed an interest in Ian Martin. Ben Jacobs reporting today as well that there's a possibility that Chelsea could look to use David Datro Fofana in a possible deal. But it looks like, according to what Fabrizio's saying, it looks like that Chelsea are basically going to decide now whether it's going to be a swap deal for Duran or whether they're going to walk away. I don't know if, from reading this, I'm not sure if just the straight cash deal is on the table. I mean, I don't really know. I mean, look, names that have been mooted are David Datro Fofana, possibly Ian Martin. Gallagher absolutely won't be part of a swap deal. So it is going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see what happens on that front. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I don't really know what to expect in regards to this deal, whether players are going to be involved or not. The amount of times that Chelsea get linked with player swap deals or player plus cash deals, and they never happen, or just in football in general, you hear these things talked about, but the reality of the situation is that they very rarely happen, and there's good reason for that, because there's so many things that need to be agreed upon, and it just doesn't often happen. That's just the reality of the situation here. But Chelsea are obviously deciding whether to progress with a deal for Duran involving players or to look elsewhere. I mean, the straight cash deal could still be on the table. I don't know. again, reports suggesting that Duran is understood to believe. So Duran himself believes he'd be a good fit at Chelsea under the club's wider vision and Enzo Maresca's approach. Apparently he would relish the chance to work alongside Nicholas Jackson as a teammate and competitor. It all just seems, a little bit odd. If I'm being perfectly honest, it all just seems a little strange right now with this Duran stuff. Is it just going to be a swap deal? Is it going to be players and cash? Is it going to be straight player swap? Is it going to be cash only, or is there going to be or is there just going to be no deal at all? This is what we're trying to work out here, and I don't really know what the answer is. Of course, Duran's keen on the move. It would be a great move for him at 20 years of age to come to a massive football club like Chelsea, move to London, be part of the exciting project moving forward. These are all things that obviously would hugely appeal. No denying it. These are all things that would hugely appeal. Of course, Duran's going to be interested. Of course, he'd like to play, alongside Nicholas Jackson or whatever, and he'd love to play alongside other exciting players. Of course, he's going to big himself up and think that, he's going to be a good fit for Chelsea. But let me just dive into this article and see what else is. He's obviously excited by the move. He's excited by the challenge of proving himself at Chelsea should the Blues progress their interest in the Villa striker. Chelsea are confident. The Columbia forward is happy at Villa, but is understood to be keen on a move to Stamford Bridge. The Blues are confident of agreeing a deal with Villa for the 20-year-old if they settle on Duran as their striker signing for the summer. Duran's understood to believe he'd be a good fit at Chelsea, both under the club's wider vision and the approach of new head coach Enzo Maresca. The former Chicago Fire striker would relish a chance to work alongside Nicholas Jackson. Duran scored 8 goals in last season for Villa, having made a £15 million move from the MLS in January 2023. Chelsea are considered unlikely to look at swap deals on any move for Duran, but Villa are interested in a number of the Blues players this summer. Chelsea Chiefs are thought to enjoy a good working relationship with Villa, and a solution would not be expected to be difficult. So yeah, there we go. That is the latest on the Duran situation, guys. Just walk away and go for a good experienced striker. I'd rather walk away like Craig David and go and get Serhou Guirassy. That's what I'd rather do. That's what I'd be keen to do. Go and sign Serhou Guirassy. That would make a lot more sense. Experience, proven, goal scorer. Got a physical presence, different profile to Nicholas Jackson, and it would make a lot more sense. And at £15 million, there represents very, very little downside. Very little downside. Villa need the cash before the end of the month. Look, regardless of whether Villa need the cash or not, it's basically down to Chelsea whether they want to pursue this deal or not. Because at the end of the day, if Chelsea want to pursue the deal, there's a deal there to be done. And I think eventually it will suit all parties and it will get done. But this now depends, do Chelsea want to do this, or are they going to look to explore alternative options? That's kind of where we're at right now with this. Obviously, ideally, you'd like to get business wrapped up as quickly as possible. Duran is obviously away with Colombia at the Copa America. And obviously that might make things a little bit more difficult, might delay things ever so slightly. But the reality of the situation is, guys, that if Chelsea want to do the deal, then the deal is there to be done. It just depends on whether they feel that Duran is absolutely the right guy for the club and the right guy for the project moving forward. And that's a decision that they need to take. And it's a decision that they need to get right ultimately. I don't see Duran will be a great fit. I think we need someone more experienced. We do need someone more experienced. Yeah, I mean, I think someone maybe at the club needs to mention to the higher ups what that is. I'd get Dovbyk and Guirassy. Dovbyk, I think, is going to go to Atletico Madrid. Guirassy, I think, for me now, with the options that are available and the kind of the strikers out there on the market, honestly think like Chelsea should be pushing hard for Serhou Guirassy. They should absolutely be pushing hard for the Guinea international. I think he's a good player, underrated. Yeah, no, I don't think Dovbyk's going to happen. He obviously had a very good season last season. He won the what did he win? The Pichichi, which is the Spanish Golden Boot. I think he did very well. I think he did very, very well. Very, very well. So we're gonna wait and see what happens on that front, guys. We are absolutely going to wait and see what happens on that front. What else is going on in the chat? It won't delay anything. Sorry, Duran is not getting minutes. No, but it's irrelevant whether he's playing minutes or not. It's the fact that he's not in the country, and he was obviously away in America where the Copa America is being held. It just means that things take a little bit longer. You've got to send medical staff out there to do the medical and all that sort of thing. Just watch again. I don't know why. I don't know why people always go for Mudryk on this. Like Ukraine were poor. He was Ukraine's best player. Like I don't understand what people are going on about. Why they're always so keen to just tear him down. I don't get it. If he's not performed well, I'll absolutely say he's not performed well. But to watch Ukraine, who were shocking, and say that Mudryk was awful and was the main problem is just nonsense. It's just utter nonsense. But it's not about outbidding. It's a 40 million euros release clause. There's no outbidding to be done. 40 million euros release clause. Guys, 122 of you in the building. Big yourselves up. Make sure you're smashing that like button, guys. It's free. It takes seconds to do. And it really, really helps out. So make sure you do that, guys. Only 36 likes and over 120 in the building. We need to ramp that up ASAP. That needs to be massively pushed forward, guys. So please do that. Smash the like button, get it up to 50, get it up to 100 likes. That's always the minimum target. And make sure you subscribe if you're new around here as well, guys. On the road to 10.1k now. Please subscribe if you're new. Hit that button. It's free. It takes seconds. It really helps me out. So let's get these subscribers up. And guys, you'll be in with a chance of winning a Chelsea shirt of your choice for the upcoming season if you subscribe. So make sure you do that. If Chelsea wants him now, would he have his medical? Well, no, he's away with Colombia. So look, you'd obviously have to send medical staff out to America, and they could do his medical on the Colombia camp. I'm sure. Looking forward to France tonight. Yeah, should be a good game. Yes, big up, bro. Hope you're doing well. That was the point. Athletic bid and didn't go for the clause. Yeah, but I think it's normal to always go in under to start with. You never show your top bid straight away. That's not what you do. You definitely don't show your top bid straight away. But yeah, it's up to the club, and I'll be interested to see what they decide to do. I will be interested to see what they decide to do, because we've got a decision to make, and it's an important one. It really is an important one. A really important one over the striker. But that's kind of the latest on Duran. It's just down to Chelsea whether they want to proceed or not. And if Chelsea do want to proceed, then I think we'll see a relatively quick conclusion to this deal if the club decide to proceed. I mean, Chelsea, I think right now the priority does appear to be Jhon Duran. But like the likes of Serhou Guirassy can't officially be ruled out. They can't be ruled out at this point of time, because there's still a possibility. I mean, Chelsea are confident of agreeing a deal, and as I was saying, if the club decide that Duran is the striker they're going to go for, then I don't see I don't see a deal being very difficult to do whatsoever. I really don't. I think a deal will easily be done if Chelsea decide to pursue go down the Duran route. So let's wait and see on that front what Chelsea decide to do. But a Duran decision is expected to be taken soon. And there is a chance that players could well be involved in that deal. So it's definitely one to watch. I think it's definitely one that's going to develop over the course of this week once Chelsea make their decision on the player. Let's just quickly move on to other striker news, guys. Where are we? So there is substance in links for Guirassy, whilst Evan Ferguson cannot be ruled out if Chelsea do not sign Jhon Duran. I mean, I don't understand why Ferguson can't be ruled out. I mean, the guy would cost an absolute fortune. Plus, he's fallen off last season. And again, yes, he may well be better than Duran, but this again is another. You're paying a phenomenal amount of money for another striker who has potential. You know, you're paying a ridiculous amount of money for another striker that has potential. So yeah, I don't understand why we would still be thinking about possibly going for Ferguson. It just doesn't make sense on any level whatsoever. Not to mention that we'd be having to go and deal with Brighton once again. What else is being said here? Sign Vlahovic. I mean, what Serbians have we had at Chelsea? Matic and Ivanovic. England standards are in the mud if people think anyone played well outside of the first 30 minutes. You know, we didn't play well at all. Hope Chelsea gets good fixtures tomorrow. Well, we've got to play everyone twice anyway. I'll have a look at that now. Let's pick up Brother Mudryk is our player, so it makes sense. Chelsea fans talk about him. He hides in games, needs to step up a lot more. I think he'll feature semi-regularly, but this idea that people are blaming him for why Ukraine was so poor is just wide of the mark and is complete and utter nonsense in my view. Complete and utter nonsense. I just don't get it. I really don't understand it. But yeah, I will. We're going to get to the Olise stuff very imminently. But on Guirassy, you know, it's interesting to see that, you know, there is some sort of substance to these reports in Germany. I mean, I do kind of worry to an extent that it's very much Chelsea just kind of covering their bases and just sort of exploring other options in case the deal for Duran falls through or whatever. I don't get the impression that Chelsea are going to walk away from the Duran deal or decide against it. That's kind of just my feeling, but I just don't think they will. I think it's very much the case that they are going to pursue that one. That would be my thought on it. They're just going to pursue that deal for Duran. But never say never. Stranger things have happened, but I think it's clear from the reports that Chelsea's priority absolutely is Duran, and I think for me, Guirassy would be the obvious choice now. Evan Ferguson is an absolute no. Just for the money, the age factor in terms of, you know, he's obviously still very young. He's not done particularly well this season at all. He's been injured. His form's dropped off, as you expect with young players. The previous season, he was brilliant, but the reality is here, guys, is that you know, there's going to be fluctuations with young players. But yeah, we do need to. I think we do need to move away from this one for sure. Steer clear of the Evan Ferguson. Maybe in a couple of years' time, you might look at doing it. But right now, or certainly in the next summer or two, it literally makes no sense. Literally makes no sense whatsoever, in my view. Guys, still 120 in the building. Only 46 likes. So let's get this up towards 100 likes. Keep smashing that thumbs up button, guys. It's free and it really helps me out. So I'm not asking for any money or anything, but make sure that you do subscribe to the channel, guys, as well. And make sure you run those likes up. There should at least be well on the way to 100 likes with 120 in the building. So run it up, people. Run it up. Ferguson makes no sense. Any news on Michael Olise? Yeah, let's get to the Olise stuff then. Let's get to that Olise stuff. Let me just bring it up now. Where are we? I will just find it now, guys. Bear with me. Right, let's get it now. Right. Okay, so not a small update, but nothing that we don't really know. Chelsea are really pushing to agree personal terms with Michael Olise. So obviously, you know, we are we're pushing hard, as we know. This is not really that much of an update on Olise. It's just the fact. It's just what we know. It's just what we know already. Is that you know, we're pushing hard on the player side, and then once we get buy-in from the player side, we will then obviously go to Palace and look to get a deal done. Because once we've got the buy-in from the player side, the stuff with Palace should be relatively straightforward. It really should be. I don't envisage that being a problem. I think very much what we need to do here is get that buy-in from the player side. And to be honest, I don't really think that much has changed. You know, he wanted to join last season, last summer, and you know, I don't think any of the personal terms would be massively different. He obviously knows about the football club. His brother's there at this point in time. He was there for 7 years until he was 14 before he left. Like, he knows the place. He wouldn't have to move and whatnot, or he might move house. But he wouldn't have to move city or anything like that. I don't think there's an awful lot left to work out on the player side, and I don't really think, to be perfectly honest, much changed from the personal terms compared to what was agreed last summer. I don't think there would have been an awful lot that was different. That's absolutely clear. So we're going to wait and see on that front, but it's going to be. I'm just going to be so disappointed, by the way, if we miss out on him. You know, we just really can't afford to mess this one up. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to pull this deal off. Absolutely no reason. We'd only have ourselves to blame if this deal doesn't go through. It really is as simple as that. We'd literally only have ourselves to blame if the deal doesn't go through. Like, everything is in our favour at this point in time. Yes, you know, you can't rule out Olise maybe wanting to stay at Palace if they show ambition in the transfer market. Yes, you can't rule out Manchester City suddenly coming in last minute. I think you can rule out Bayern Munich, you can rule out Newcastle. And I think to a degree you can probably rule out Man United as well, because they don't have the finance for the deal. And they're looking at their priorities obviously lie in other areas. That much is clear in my view, that their priorities lie in other areas. So I think that this is us to lose, and this would be our marquee signing this summer. Unless the club have got something else up their sleeve which we don't know about, this would be the marquee signing this summer. And we need to deliver, because it ends up being Duran and a few other kind of squad-like players. Then, yeah, that's going to be disappointing. So we need to make sure that we get Olise over the line and make sure that's our statement signing and our marquee signing to show that we really need business. I'd rather we go and get Kvaratskhelia and Olise than a striker. Oh, look, we're not going to get both. It's going to be one wide player. So whether it's Olise, whether it's Somerville, whether it's Kvaratskhelia, or someone else, it's going to be one player this summer. Sorry, one wide player this summer and one striker. One thing people need to know is that Pochettino is a far bigger pull for a player to join at Chelsea than Maresca. No, I don't think it was anything to do with Pochettino. Chelsea won him regardless. I don't think, you know, Olise was thinking, oh, I really want to play for Pochettino. I'm now not going to join this summer because he's not there. I don't see it like that at all. Yes. Big up to Cyril. Guys, make sure you're doing that. We are creeping towards 100 likes mark now. We are on 55, 122 in the building. We still need to keep pushing, guys. We still need to keep pushing. So keep smashing that like button and keep subscribing to the channel. Well, he's not a Chelsea player yet. And look, no, it wouldn't be particularly inspiring. But at the end of the day, I'd get behind every player that joins the football club, and I will support it. But ultimately, it doesn't mean that I agree with it. Really pushing almost there. Yeah, I mean, we're doing everything we possibly can. We've done it. Yes, big up, brother. Vada on the left, Alvarez 9, Olise on the right. I mean, yeah, we can all dream, but yeah, unfortunately, I don't see that happening at all. Yeah, after this tournament, hopefully. Yeah, he does play. He plays striker for Georgia. Fair. But yeah, that's where we're at with Olise. You know, there's not really an awful lot more to add on that front. He's currently away in France preparing for the Olympics with the Olympic squad. So I think whatever happens in terms of a move, if he does end up joining, then we are going to end up in a situation where he will probably miss pre-season and the first few games of the season because he will be playing in the Olympics. As we were discussing the other day, I don't think we can be in a situation where if Palace have given Olise permission to go and play in the Olympics and he joins us and then we're suddenly like, actually, do you know what? Sorry, you can't go and play. I don't think we are in a position to be able to do that. That's just my thoughts on it. I think that's my interpretation of the decision right now. But let's see. The thing is with the transfer market, you just never know. You know, one day you could be inches away from getting the deal done, and then the next it all falls through. You know, and it just all falls down. So, you know, one day something can seem great, the next day it could be shit and a total disaster. So, right now it seems possible, but we just got to remain confident. We just got to remain confident because he's not for sale and we can't afford him. That should will be a good backup to Nicholas Jackson. I mean, I don't think he's that different to Jhon Duran, but obviously the club clearly think otherwise on that front. So that is exactly what's happening at this point in time. You know, that's what it is. What's happened to Washington? Nothing. I think he'll go on loan. Do you think we beat Denmark and Slovenia? Look, I think we'll go through. I think England probably will win those games. And yeah, I do think we will. I do think we'll go through. I don't doubt that. I don't have any real concerns on that front that we won't go through. I really don't. I think we will. I think we definitely will go through. Why don't we just pay the release clause and be done? Because it's not as simple as that. That's the whole point. You know, the release clause is complex. Olise's due a percentage. Let me just bring up the explanation of the release clause. Yeah, Lukaku probably will score for Belgium. He's got a phenomenal record in international football. I think he scored 85 goals for Belgium, which is mad. Absolutely mad when you think about it. You know, that record is crazy. Where are we? Something on the release clause. So this is it here. This basically explains the release clause in a bit more detail and why it's a bit more complex. So Olise gets a percentage from the release clause himself. So that makes personal terms a bit more time consuming if Chelsea plan to present a different offer to Palace rather than trigger the clause outright. So there are options here. We can obviously trigger the clause outright, or, you know, we can go for a slightly different option, which I imagine, like we've done with other deals, would involve us paying slightly more than the release clause to get a more favourable structure in terms of payment. In payment terms, one that would suit us better. So let's see. I mean, I don't know why this deal has to always be so complicated. We were so close last summer, so close, and that's why I don't want to tempt fate or get carried away or anything like that. I really don't want to get carried away, but it's important not to, because we got so close last time and it all fell through, and there's no reason why it couldn't possibly happen again, or he ends up choosing someone else. So yes, we need to push hard on the player side, but we also need to be respectful, and we also unfortunately need to do everything that Palace ask of us. I know that sounds like crazy, but we've got to do what Palace say, because last time we did slightly underhand, dodgy tactics, and Palace were fuming with us. That's why the deal fell through. And I think that's also probably why Lewis Hill's proposed loan move to Palace also fell through as well. Guys, 140 in the building. Big up to everyone that's locked in. We need to keep pushing on the light front, just like Chelsea are pushing hard on personal terms for Olise. I'm pushing hard for the likes, guys. We need to get this to 100 likes. So 140 in the building, only 63 likes. Smash the thumbs up button, guys. It really helps out. It helps boost the stream and the algorithm, get more eyes on the channel, which is what we all want. So please do run the likes up and keep subscribing as well if you're new around here. We'll make it past the group stages, but knockouts is when things get more serious. Agreed. I thought it was okay, to be fair, yesterday. Many more move favourable. Fiorentina will. I don't know what that means. Isn't a release clause just for UCL clubs? No, it's not. That there was one report that said that, but that is not believed to be true. Chelsea are thought to be very confident that they won't have to pay more than any Champions League clubs if they want Michael Olise. But that's the latest on Olise. Chelsea are pushing hard on the personal terms side, and we just have to wait now for a decision. That's it at the end of the day. We're waiting for a position, and we're waiting to get a full agreement on personal terms with Olise before we can progress to the next stage. That's ultimately where we're at now. We're waiting for the next stage, which is to agree personal terms, and then we can look to progress from there. Once you've got the buy-in from the player side, once the personal terms are agreed, once he said that he wants to come and he's set on coming, then we can go to Palace, and then we can sort out the finances and how we're going to structure the deal and all that business. We can sort that out afterwards. But the most important thing is 100% the buy-in from the player side. That is absolutely what we're looking for, and it's 100% what we need to do, and what we should be doing. It's exactly what we should be doing. So we need to make sure that we are doing that. So we've got to stick to the rules. I know it's boring. I know we'd rather get a deal done quickly, but Olise is going to take his time over his future. It's going to be a big move for him. And ultimately, guys, unfortunately, all we can do is wait this one out, is wait it out. I don't think we're getting Duran. I think we'll end up with Duran. What do I think happens with Fofana? Well, if he's not involved in a swap deal for Duran, I suspect he'll go on loan somewhere else again. Or if an offer comes in for him, then we'll look to sell him permanently. I think Chelsea would make their money back on him, and they probably make a bit more. To be honest, they probably would make a profit on Datro Fofana right now, given his loan spell at Burnley, given what he did in the first half of the season, first half of the first part of last season on loan at Union Berlin. So yeah, I think there's definitely options there. Definitely options there for Datro Fofana. But yeah, that's obviously the news on the Olise front, is that Chelsea need to agree personal terms before they look to go anywhere any further in the deal. It's going to be interesting. Again, player swap deals are not going to be not easy to do. I mean, Fabrizio Romano adding that player swap deals are it's not going to be easy to do a swap deal for Duran, but it wouldn't be impossible. But it's unlikely. But according to this is what. Let me just bring this update here very briefly, guys. Bear with me. Judging from Fabrizio Romano's video and Court Offside, it looks like Chelsea will make a decision on Jhon Duran this week. It still has to involve player swaps, apparently. Interesting. So apparently it needs to involve a player swap. I'm not too sure what to believe right now. But yeah, obviously, apparently a decision is going to be taken on Duran this week, which is interesting. So we can expect a decision this week on whether we're going to press ahead and look to sign him. I'd like to think that we wouldn't do that, but maybe we will. Maybe we will. I don't know. I really don't know. But that is what we're waiting for now. The decision on Duran, and then we move forward from there. No, Gallagher isn't going to be involved in this. It's already been made clear by Fabrizio and others that Gallagher won't be involved in any swap deal with Villa for Duran. No, Ziyech is now a Galatasaray player. So yeah, he will no longer be on the books come the summer. No longer will Hakim Ziyech be on the books, guys. That is clear. So yeah, I mean, what do we think, guys? Do we think straight cash? Do we think we're going to get we're going to use players, or do you think we're going to walk away? Let me know your thoughts in the chat, guys. Broja, I mean, look, Villa might have other ideas for a backup striker. I mean, look, Broja is definitely a player that could be a possibility to use. I mean, sure, it is possible, but does he want to go to Villa? Does he want to go to Everton? If Milan still push for him and they want him, I think he'd probably rather prefer to go there. I think it's Castellet or some midfielder, possibly. Although I don't think Villa would be that keen or that interested in signing Cesare Castellet. But I could be wrong on that front. I could absolutely be wrong on that front. Hope it's not Chukwuemeka. No, it won't be Chukwuemeka. It's more the likes of Martson, Trev, Datro Fofana. It won't be Madueke. I suspect we're looking at maybe Martson, maybe I'd say Martson, Chalobah, or Datro Fofana are going to be the players that could most likely be involved in any potential swap deal. That would be how I would be viewing it at this point in time. I think that's what will those be the guys that I think could be involved potentially, and I think for all of them it would be a pretty good move. Yeah, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean you can't do a transfer when a player's at the Euros. It just makes it a bit more logistically complicated. It doesn't mean that you can't do it though. It absolutely doesn't mean that. It just means that it takes a bit more time. And it also means that maybe the player would actually prefer to decide his future after the Euros. There's also absolutely that trail of thought as well. But a Jhon Duran decision, guys, should be expected this week. So, I think once the decision's been made, we'll get something pretty quickly on that front. There'll be something pretty quickly on the Duran front. I think there'll definitely be something clear. I mean, again, Tottenham, Villa, Athletic, we're going to get into Conor Gallagher very imminently. So let's wait and see. But again, just briefly on Olise, by the way, apparently the next few days are going to be crucial on the Olise front as well. So it feels like that from the reports coming out, guys, that this week is going to be key on both the pursuit of Michael Olise and the pursuit of Jhon Duran. I'm not saying we're not going to have deals agreed by the end of the week for both players. What I'm saying is we will be in a situation where we will have some sort of a concrete update, I would imagine, on what is likely to happen with Duran and Olise. So that is going to be that is going to be an interesting one, guys. It is going to be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to seeing I'm looking forward to seeing what we decide to do here. More so to do with the Olise pursuit. I've sort of already consigned myself to the fact that this Jhon Duran deal is going to happen, unfortunately. Mate, we're not going to sign João Neves from Benfica. He costs way too much money. I think they want the release clause is over 100 million euros. We're just not going to pay that. But yeah, let's move on to the Conor Gallagher stuff, guys, because according to reports in Spain, and this has obviously subsequently been backed up by Fabrizio Romano, that Atletico Madrid have asked about the situation of Conor Gallagher and are waiting to know what Chelsea's stance is on the player. Now, that is going to be an interesting one. It is going to be an interesting one because we know there's interest from Tottenham. We know there's interest from Aston Villa. And there's also now interest from Spanish side Atletico Madrid. I'd be intrigued to see what Gallagher would be like in a Diego Simeone system. I think you could definitely see him, doing a good job there, high energy, high press. But ultimately, we know what Gallagher wants to do. We know that he wants to stay at Chelsea. We know he's set on staying at the football club, and the ball's in his court. If he wants to stay, he'll stay. It really is that simple. There's not really an awful lot more to it, guys. If Gallagher wants to stay, he'll stay. If there's a move on the table that it's not ticking his boxes and it's not what he wants, then he'll stay. But I also think a new contract can't be fully ruled out for Gallagher either. There is a possibility that we could see him offered a new deal. I know that seems a bit crazy right now, but I do genuinely believe that with Gallagher, all options are still on the table. Could stay at Chelsea and sign a new deal, or he'll look to go to maybe an Aston Villa or a Spurs or an Atletico Madrid or whatever. Oh, mad! There's a big breaking news here, by the way, guys. I mean, it's not I don't know if it's real or not. Is it real? Is it real? Yeah, apparently it is. Yeah, bastards. Yeah, bastards, guys. We've been done over on a deal. I'll get back to this Gallagher stuff in a sec. But yeah, breaking news from Ornstein. We've been fucked over on a deal for Pedro Lima. Wolves reach agreement with Sport Recife to sign Pedro Lima, 17-year-old right back linked to Chelsea, but Wolves strike club-to-club deal and personal terms on a 5+1 contract. If all goes to plan, Brazil under-17 international will do his medical and complete the move before July 1st. So apparently, guys, I thought it was reported that this deal was all wrapped up for Pedro Lima to join Blueco and be part of the Strasbourg-Chelsea project or whatever. But it looks like the hijackers have been hijacked. Yeah, that's what it appears, guys. The hijackers look like they have been hijacked. Mad. Absolutely mad. So, yeah, it appears that Chelsea have... they've been beaten to the punch by Wolves. Can you believe it? I mean, I'm not saying that Pedro Recife was going to be a massive player for us. He was going to be one of them that was just going to be flipped on for profit or whatever. But yeah, I don't know what's gone on there because that was reported as a done deal for Chelsea. So yeah, interesting. It was heavily linked to Chelsea. How's that happened? Is what I want to know. Wolves hijacked us. No, that's mad. That is mad, people. Let me just read through this this article, guys, because I want to just see if there's any details from Ornstein on what's happened here, because that's crazy. If we've just been hijacked there. You know, let's see. We have been absolutely done. Wolves have reached an agreement with Sport Recife for Pedro Lima. The 17-year-old had been heavily linked with a host of top clubs, most prominently Chelsea, who had been pushing to sign the right back. Wolves have managed to strike a deal with Sport Recife for Lima in what would represent a major coup for the club. Personal terms are in place on a 5-year contract. If all goes to plan, he would arrive at Wolves on the 1st of July to undergo a medical and complete the move. A Sport Recife statement read, yes, they've said it. You know, Sport Recife announces that it has signed a binding agreement to transfer the economic and federative rights of Pedro Lima to Wolverhampton Wanderers from England. Fair. Chelsea had stepped up their efforts to sign Lima last week, scheduling further talks with a view to him initially joining Strasbourg. However, he's set to be Wolves' second new signing of the summer after they completed a deal for wide player Rodrigo Gomez from Braga last week. Lima broke into the Sport Recife first team in January this year as a 16-year-old and has featured 8 times in the Brazilian second division this season. Has also represented Brazil at youth level and was part of the side at the Under-17 World Cup. So, yeah, guys, the hijackers have been hijacked. Mad. Absolutely mad. I mean, he was Strasbourg bound anyway. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really that fussed about it, but I wonder why. I wonder why it's fallen through though. Is what I would like to know. Why has that fallen through? Guys, 145 in the building. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Make sure you smash the thumbs up button as well, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you are new round here. Also, we're 20 likes away from 100. There's definitely 20 people in it that haven't liked the stream. So make sure you do that. And we need to move forwards, guys. 10,078 subscribers. Let's try and get to 10.1K. Now, that's a big ask, but let's get as close as we can. So smash that subscribe button. Make sure you join the channel. Become part of the great community here. And, guys, if you subscribe, you've got a chance of winning yourself a Chelsea shirt of your choice with the live giveaway for that coming up later this week. So make sure you subscribe. And we're 20 subs now from 10.1K. So let's get our skates on and get moving. He's Strasbourg bound, and he was, yeah. We move on though, Biggie. Hijackers get hijacked. Yeah, brother, I hear you. Missed the stream yesterday. Oh no, bro, it's all good. You know, I'll announce all the details, and the giveaway will take place live on stream. I'll set it all up. There'll be a wheel on the screen. You'll put a hashtag in the chat to enter, and then when it's time, I'll just press the button. It'll randomly generate the winner. But I will do that this week. Let's do it on Wednesday evening. We'll do it Wednesday afternoon, guys. We'll do it on Wednesday afternoon. So make sure you subscribe to be in with a chance, people. Yeah, well, then give it a couple of years. We'll do 2 years at Wolves, and then we'll spend about 30 million quid to sign him and send him to and send him elsewhere. That is exactly what we will look to do. But yeah, we have been done over. We have been done over, which is crazy. That we are where we are. You know, that is the one. So I mean, I was going to talk about Conor Gallagher, but there's not really too much more to add other than he's going to decide his future after the Euros. But Atletico Madrid have inquired to Chelsea and want to see what their solution, what their stance on the player is. And obviously, I don't know if Atletico Madrid have got 50 million quid to spend. But if Gallagher wants to go there, then we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens on that. I don't know what's happened on that front. Maybe Chelsea pulled out and decided against it. I don't really know, but that seemed like it was definitely done. No, we don't need him anyway. Well, yeah, ultimately he's proven to be wrong, but what he reported at the time, according to his information, was correct at that point. But something between then has obviously changed. Something between then's obviously changed. So yeah, it's not he's obviously wrong on this occasion, but what he reported at the time wasn't incorrect. So yeah, it's confirmed. It's confirmed by Fabrizio as well, saying here that Official, Wolves have hijacked the deal and signed Pedro Lima from Sport Recife, despite deal verbally agreed with Blueco Group last week. Sport Recife announced a deal agreed with Wolves with 2006-born Brazilian right-back. Club statement from Recife confirms deal in place. So, yeah, we've been robbed by Wolves. And this is what we're meant to be good at. We're meant to be good at signing kids and younger players. So, yeah, crazy. Something's obviously happened last minute. There's been a change of heart. And yeah, he's off to Wolves. So there we go, guys. There we fucking go. He's off to Wolves. Nightmare, absolute nightmare. Oh well, not to worry. On to the next one. I'm sure a 15-year-old will sign this week for about 50 million quid, and he'll join in 2027 or whatever. And everything will be fine, and everyone will be absolutely delighted. But yeah, the hijackers have been hijacked. We normally get deals done, but not on this occasion, guys. Not on this occasion. So here we go. Interesting that we've been done there. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Not to worry though. Not to worry. Anyway, let's get on to the Kvaratskhelia news. So, obviously, Fabrizio Romano stated last night that Chelsea scouts have been in attendance several times to watch Kvaratskhelia, but they are mentioning Champions League and Chelsea are not in it. This Kvaratskhelia story, guys, if you're not across it, is kind of crazy. There's a bit of a war of words between him and Napoli. He's obviously currently at Euro 2024 right now. But apparently he's desperate to leave the club after they had a shocking 10th place finish last season. I mean, Napoli have dug their heels in, as you'd expect. And according to some reports, they rejected 100 million euros offer from PSG. Kvaratskheilia's agent said yesterday, we want to leave Napoli, but now we're all waiting for the Euros. With new manager Conte, Napoli have big plans. I'm sure they'll qualify to the Champions League again next season and fight for the Scudetto. But that doesn't mean that Kvaratskhelia wants to stay there. I haven't spoken with Khvicha about this issue. The most important thing for him is the national team. Our goal is to join a team that plays in the Champions League. The worst thing is that if he stays here, Khvicha will lose 1 year because of that. We are worried. And again, they were reiterated by Kvaratskelia's father in the same publication. I don't want Khvicha to stay in Napoli. He's worked with 4 different coaches in 1 year. This worries me. This worries me a lot. He will decide for himself, although it's uncomfortable for me. I haven't spoken to him about this topic, and I'm going to wait until the end of Euro 2024. Napoli have not taken this lying down, issuing a blunt statement overnight. In reference to the statements of Kvaratskelia's agent and father, Napoli reiterate that the player has a contract for another 3 years with the club. Kvaratskhelia is not on the market. It's not agents or fathers who decide on the future of a player under contract of Napoli, but the club. End of story. So yeah, this is a crazy situation right now with Kvaratskhelia involved in a very public war of words with Napoli. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, Chelsea have watched him on a number of occasions. That's hardly surprising. A lot of players get scouted, particularly top players. The fact that we've got no Champions League football is obviously going to be a big blow. He wants to go to a Champions League club. But at the end of the day, whoever tries to get him is going to have to spend a lot of money, and it's going to be a difficult deal to do. There's no doubt about it. It is going to be a difficult deal to do, and we're going to have to wait and see what happens on that. I suspect, whether he stays or not, I don't know. But I've got a funny feeling that in a blow for us, because it means that Lukaku probably can't go there. But I think Osimhen could end up staying. But the fact that Chelsea are looking at the likes of Kvaratskhelia, it would be a great signing for the left-hand side, which is an area that we could do with strengthening the left wing. But I personally don't really see that. I personally don't see it happening. I could be wrong. Maybe he goes to PSG. I don't know whether that bid of 100 million euros was legit or not. I don't know. I've not seen that reported anywhere kind of credible, as it were. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It is going to be an interesting one, and I'm exciting. I'm excited to see if anything happens here. I don't think it will. Yep, Pedro Lima to Wolves, just been through that. Yep, unfortunately, we've missed out there. As a serious club, you show interest. That's a different kettle of fish than try to buy a certain player. Yeah, look, we're expressing an interest, and we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see what happens from that point, because that's all we can do. That's all we can do at the end of the day. We're just going to have to wait and see. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens. But no doubt a top player, a really exciting player. But yeah, it's highly unlikely. But it's good to see that the club are actually looking at top level players and maybe still are semi-serious at trying to bring really good players to the football club. So yeah, we're gonna wait and see. We're gonna wait and see, people. Because you could just never say never in football. You really can't. I mean, look, Kvaratskhelia I think will be cheaper than Osimhen for sure. But yeah, it is true. You can never say never in football. By the way, guys, 6 likes away from 100, still 130 in the building. Let's get these final 6 likes knocked off. Smash that thumbs up button, guys. Let's run it up, people. There's definitely 6 people in there that haven't smashed the like. It's free, it takes seconds, and it really helps out. So please do that. And let's get this to 100 likes, guys. Run it up and keep subscribing to the channel as well. 10K shirt giveaway taking place on Wednesday afternoon. So make sure you are in it to win it, guys. So subscribe and keep running those likes up. Let's get this to 100. Should be light work. Vada is a player and a half. Don't see him coming our way, though. No, I don't either. Didn't miss out on Lima. Glad we're not wasting money. Let's go and get a good striker. No, I don't think we're going to get the Napoli lad. I would agree. Yeah, basically. I mean, he was going to join the Blue Code group, which is obviously Chelsea, Strasbourg, and whatnot. Yeah, we missed out at the end of the day, and it's unfortunate. When we get back into the Champions League, I hope we bring top players to the club. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Kvaratskhelia, I mean, the situation is crazy, really, when you think about it. It is utterly mad. Utterly mad. Yeah, personal terms were agreed last summer with Olise. And obviously, like, the broad agreement is going to be the same, but I imagine a few things will change slightly that need sorting out. We're not going from scratch. I think a lot of the groundwork we did last summer is still very relevant today. So I think, yeah, we're not starting from scratch on that front. No, but I think we'll get more information and a bit more clarity on his future this week. That would be my that would be my thoughts on proceedings. Is that we'll get a bit more clarity on his situation this week. I really think we will. We have to get Olise done. Yeah, and again, this is a worry. I know obviously you can't compare Wolves hijacking a Blue Co deal to Olise being potentially hijacked or whatever, but the principle is the same. Even if a deal seemingly appears to be done, Wolves appeared like an RKO out of nowhere and took that from us. So yeah. So there we go. So there we go. You can just never say never with these deals, even if it appears to be done. Really, guys, until they're holding the shirt, we can't be 100% certain, because something can always change, and that's what we've just seen there. And hopefully, that's the last time that happens this summer, because we can't afford to be missing out on players. I know this one doesn't particularly matter to an extent, but the principle is the same on this front. But yeah, the Kvaratskhelia situation is crazy. Obviously, we've scouted him. I don't really see that. I don't really see that going anywhere. Obviously, he clearly wants out of Napoli. Napoli are well within their rights. He's under contract, so I suspect that he's gonna spend at least one more season at the club, and then maybe he goes in the summer of 25. But it's good to see that Chelsea are looking at players of this caliber. That is definitely good to see. Belgium are losing. I don't know what it is about Belgium. They never seem to do anything in the major tournaments. Are Belgium losing or should be losing? I don't know. I'm not seeing anything there. But yeah, agree. But feeling we miss out on Olise. Yeah, I hope not. I hope not. I mean, it's difficult to tell, isn't it, guys? It is difficult to tell with this one. People, 3 more likes to 100. Keep running it up. Keep running it up, guys. We're almost there now. Smash that thumbs up button and keep subscribing to the channel as well. Do you think we should wait till summer 25 for our ideal striker? Look, I think if you do bring in someone like a Duran, then you've got the opportunity to maybe look to bring in a more established striker the following summer. I think there's definitely a trail of thought that you could look to do that. I don't think Chelsea will. I'd be surprised if we signed a striker this summer and then we signed a striker the following summer. That would be interesting. There's a possibility there, but I personally don't see it. Unless an opportunity presents itself in the market, then I suspect that Chelsea will sign a striker this summer, and then we won't sign a striker for a while. That would be my take on proceedings. Who would you prefer, Kvaratskhelia, Olise, or Alvarez? Oh, I've got to be Olise for me. I don't think United are getting Javi Simons. I don't suspect that to be the case at all. I don't think they are getting Javi Simons. What else are we looking at? What else are we looking at here? Yeah. So, it'd be Olise for me. But it'd be interesting to see how the Kvaratskhelia situation develops. You can never count Chelsea out of these things. I know, obviously, I think it's an absolute million miles away from happening, but you can never count the club out of these things, because you do just never know. You do just never know with these things. And yeah, let's wait and see, guys. Let's wait and see on that front, because I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be really interesting. I really do. Just in general, with a lot of these deals, I think it is going to be. I think it's going to be fascinating and exciting as well, to say the least. Scared City are interested in Olise. Well, no, there's an interest there, but it's not an advanced interest or anything like that. It's more of an admiration as such, rather than any sort of solid, concrete, serious interest that we might be talking about here. But let me just check if there's any more last minute things to go through. Has anything been happening? Let me just check. I mean, at the end of the day, for Pedro Lima, it's probably better. He's likely to get first team experience in the Premier League much quicker. £8.5 million total deal as well. So yeah, football is crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. But there we go. I mean, it's bizarre in a way, isn't it? He had the chance to play regular football with Strasbourg and then potentially go to Chelsea, but then he suddenly has a change of heart and chooses to go for Wolves. Something's not adding up with that. I mean, it's a strange one, isn't it? It really is a strange one. But Guys, I am going to round this one out here. Big up to everyone that's tuned in tonight. Appreciate each and every single one of you. On the way out, guys, make sure you smash the thumbs up button. Run the likes up. Let's get them as as close to 150 as we possibly can. Keep smashing the likes on the way out. Subscribe if you're new around here, guys. The shirt giveaway takes place on Wednesday afternoon. I'll give the final details tomorrow, but make sure you are subscribed to be in with a chance of winning a shirt of your choice for Chelsea from the upcoming season. So please do subscribe to the channel on the way out. Please smash the like button. Get these likes up. Let's wait and see what tomorrow's got in store for us, guys. Enjoy the rest of the games tonight. The Belgium game now, the France game later on. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon. Let's see what news we've got in store for us then, whether there's any Duran updates, any Olise updates, anyone else. So yeah, guys, thanks for the support as always. Love to everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Smash the likes, subscribe, up the Chelsea, and peace out.